Hey guys, Laura here, and got Justice with me.
Hello.
Got diabetesNINJA with me.
Top of the morning.
We've been playing a shit ton of the new Samurai Shodown, or Samurai Spirits, whatever you want to call it. We're really late. The game's been out for weeks.
Yeah, we were playing Samurai Showdown.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna make a review for you. I'm gonna play the game. It just came out. I
It's.
still want to play the game.
I find reviews like weeks or a month after the fact more helpful.
Oh yeah, no.
Than,
There's a huge rush to get it out. But
yeah, and
that's better to know.
I don't get review copies,
That being
guys.
said, we were both late and don't know what we're talking about. So
No, I really like the game. But yeah, we just wanted to get our thoughts about it out there. So, what do you guys think? Why don't we start you, Ninja?
All right, so I guess whenever you look at fighting games, everybody's got their own way that they like measure the quality. I got a couple of things that I basically look for. I'm looking for couch multiplayer, which I think most people are, and I think that the playing against your friends, it's real fun. It's an experience that everybody can contribute to, and I think that even just using buttons, even if like you're on a playing field where nobody knows anything but the buttons, I think that it's like still fun, still plays out like a game of chess.
the buttons are, I feel like in a lot of matchups, more important.
They're so to me, and I think that
if you're playing this like Street Fighter, or if you're playing this like King of Fighters, or if you're playing this like,
the best whiff punish in the game is standing strong.
yes, this definitely feels more like it's oriented more on footsies and getting your like strike in, and not so much like trying to do air combos. Air combos almost don't exist, it seems.
You were saying.
Yeah, I do like it that basically everything has a consequence and gravity to it, and you can't win by inundating your opponent with sensory experience. I think that modern fighting games get a little bit carried away with that, and we all love hyper fighters.
Yeah,
I think that having something to stand in contrast to that is makes for a healthy marketplace, and I think that whenever you're like ready to put down the Blaze Blue cross tag and you're ready to play something that has layers that are more accessible, this really works for that. Everything feels weighty when it should, and I think it's a good joint incline for people who you want with like a less deep pedigree to start playing fighting games, and that was what I was hoping for. I think it succeeds wonderfully at that.
Yeah, it's definitely paced more like a late 90s fighter.
If somebody starts playing this as their first fighting game, I feel like they'll probably be better at fundamentals. You're definitely going to get less button mashers from this game.
Yeah, no, you get punished hard for throwing out anything not a light jab.
Yeah, I love it, honestly. I like it. It's a very intentional fighting game, and I don't feel like you have to be intentional in every fighting game, but I feel like so many of them have characters that are based purely on applying block pressure.
Yeah.
Like Street Fighter V, I think the whole meta right now is, or when I looked at least, was based on like putting someone in a corner and making it never their turn to play.
Yeah, that's pretty much the whole goal when you're playing Sakura.
And you can't do that in this game. You can't.
Some of the interesting mechanics here is that there's no traditional throw. There's like a block break or guard break,
Yeah.
which would be a throw, but it does no damage. It
gives you a free something depending on the character.
It's like the throw from Tekken 4.
I was just fixing to say,
but
like
the throw in Tekken 4 was garbage, and the throw in this game is good.
Oh yeah, because you can actually follow it up to an extent.
Doesn't make people. Yeah, you can follow it up. People don't just automatically know which grab to escape because there is no grab escape.
Yeah, it makes the mix-up strong. It takes a game that seems to be purely defensive.
Yeah,
and gives you a really good offensive tool.
It was very necessary because the game is so defense focused. They needed to include a few ways to try to open up your opponent, and I think they did a good job of that by giving you they give characters cross-ups and jump-ins and 50-50s and the grab. But it's still a defense-focused game, which I like it. There's not a lot of defense-focused fighting games out there.
So it stands out from other things on the marketplace. I think that the other thing I wanted to mention is that it succeeds on some levels that I didn't think that it would. Because whenever I first learned about it, they were like, it's going to be on EVA main stage. And I was like, is this going to be even a little bit watchable? Because I like watching Samurai Shodown 2, the competitive scene, but, the matches do kind of like look the same eventually, and there's basically 4 viable characters, like maybe only 3. And I think that in this, they like really did a good job of making everybody visually interesting, so it'll be showable. And also, I think that the balance, at least on this couch. Now, I haven't watched a lot of the competitive stuff that's happened, but what I understand is it's got a really robust competitive scene, and it seems like there's a lot of variety going on. It's a really showable product.
Yeah, I think just about any character is viable, and also, in addition to making each character visually unique, I feel like they all have.
How many characters were used for CEO?
CEO, you mostly saw Tam Tam, you mostly saw Yoshitora.
Ooh, maybe I'm wrong about balancing. Maybe
you saw. I mean, it was very soon after the game came out. The people played it for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, hold that whole how good is it balanced. I think it's going to turn out to be probably the most balanced Samurai Shodown we've ever had. It's way better than 6. Seems like it could be better than 5. 5 was pretty okay.
Balance. I think it's a little early to say that, though. Say that definitively.
Here's another thing to be honest with you about, though. Like, I think that there's actually 2 different metas. There's competitive meta of tournaments that you're going to watch on YouTube, and then there's what happens at your couch. And I just think that even if it turns out that on the tournament scene...
Oh, and those can intercept. I mean, we all saw the Hakan? The Hakan pick?
I love that match. Other systems that make this real good is a lot of options are one-time use. Everybody has like a rage art that you can only use once in the entire match, and it's independent.
Not you can only land once. You can only use it once. If you whiff that shit, it's gone.
Yeah, and it's independent of the meter, which also has its own special tied to it. And also has its own mechanic. That's, again, a one-time use. The rage.
Well, also, even without the weapon flipping technique, you've got certain moves on your command list basically get EX when you're in rage state.
Right.
Now, don't you guys think that everything that you've seen leads you to believe that the game is super fair? Because I know that in some...
Oh, yeah, whenever I lose, it's almost guaranteed my fault. Sometimes I don't understand why it's my fault, but I have to,
Even the comeback mechanic stuff, it feels really fair to where if you play correctly, it rewards you the entire time. And I feel like in some games, it feels like there's a disconnect between you doing the correct thing and being rewarded with success.
Tekken 7.
In some games, I'm not going to name any games, but like characters like Hiyori will just go through every fucking move that you have and then put you in a long combo.
No, I'm thinking of Tekken 7 and Soul Calibur 6. And their fucking shitty rage art that like goes through shit for no reason.
I wasn't a big fan of the rage art.
It looks like you're losing because you're bad at the game. Would you like to go through your opponent's next attack and even the score? Hit one button.
Yeah, I don't mind things like that if they're done well. But the issue is in Tekken 7. How do you play against your opponent having that? And the answer is you fucking block until they whiff it.
Yeah, I mean, I love Tekken 7.
It's just not entertaining.
Tekken 7 is definitely one of the best Tekkens, but that's like the one mechanic that...
I guess you kind of run into that here, though, but it's more pronounced. When somebody goes into that whatever state they want to call it, where you can get your SN attack...
Yeah.
I feel like the game kind of slows down, and it kind of becomes this thing where if you're the person that's not in that mode, you're like, alright, well, I've got to wait for them to run out of bar or use it.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's so fast, and it goes through anything.
Losing your weapon comes back in this one.
But again, it's a big risk. It takes your super bar away for the rest of the match.
Yeah. Losing weapons is back in Sam Show again.
It's a very unique mechanic. I would have been a little upset if they took it out.
I mean, they've taken it out several times.
And I was upset.
Okay, well, yeah, fair enough. I'm not trying to claim to be a real expert in the older ones, so maybe the older ones had this too, and I was always too dumb. But I like now there's an ability, if you lose a weapon, you can catch your opponent's weapon. The sword catch is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, that goes on another one of the game's defensive mechanics. Is that
There's
everybody
a lot of
has
defensive
a universal roll forward parry.
Yeah.
Roll forward, light, medium will parry any mid or high attack. It has to be a standing attack. It doesn't parry lows and it doesn't parry aerial attacks.
And I like how the timing is tight.
But if you have your weapon, you basically get any attack that you want out of it. And if you don't have your weapon, you take your opponent's weapon away.
I like how it's not like Dead or Alive where I mash it and it works.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
Oh, you look like you want to say something?
Well, I was just we've gotten kind of off track of it being a review. Now we're just talking about the game.
That's what
That's what a
Oh,
review is.
Oh, okay. But
wait a minute. We're talking mechanics of the game and how we feel about that, but that's off track of the review. Please.
I mean, I guess you could say it's a little in the weeds for a review, but I don't know. I like to hear that
What
kind of stuff in my
separates this
reviews.
game is the mechanics.
Yeah.
What makes this game unique and worthy to
And I
check
gotta gush over
into,
the mechanics because they're really good.
yeah, is the mechanics because it isn't using the Street Fighter or the Marvel formula and going from there. It's not directly comparable to any other fighter currently on the market. You'd have to go way back in SK's history to find something that handled like this.
Like Samurai Shodown.
Like Samurai Shodown, or some of the Art of Fightings are kind of slow paced like this.
I think the other thing I really like about it is it feels like a Samurai Showdown. They didn't.
Oh,
they
yeah,
didn't try
they
to
didn't-
make it a more mainstream game.
They didn't make it more like Capcom SNK2 or some shit like that.
It feels like Samurai Showdown, but it's been updated.
Yeah, and I think if anyone doesn't like this game, it's because it's so like unique. It's because you're looking for
Or
another
it's because they're a Rushdown main. I'm like, I'm sorry, there's not really anything for you here. Hanzo, maybe?
Hanzo and Galford.
Well,
Maybe, I don't
even
know.
then, sometimes people's objective permanence gets bothered, and they don't really want to have to work off a different knowledge-based foundation to build.
Yeah, you're Ryu mains.
And so now the thing is, though, I feel like I said, you actually don't have to have much of a foundation to get started because buttons are good, and even if you don't understand V triggers, you probably understand life bars, and you probably understand, wow, that person is recovering for 8 minutes after this sword swing, and so when they miss, I'll just jump in there and hit them with mine. I just think that there's really visually communicative. The rock paper scissors of the whole thing is really communicated visually well, and I don't know, man. I just think that it checks the things that I wanted because I wanted it to pay homage to the series proper. I wanted it to not resemble other things. I wanted it to be something that people who have never played Sam Show can start playing. It succeeds at all of those things, and it's a showable product that they can use for tournaments. And I'm excited for the future because I'm thinking about things from the series proper and also guest characters I've seen show up other places. I think that this game is ripe for expansion. I hope the game succeeds wildly and we get more content.
It in Japan.
They've got characters to pull from.
Yeah, they do. Holy shit! Have you seen Sam Show 6?
Bring back my boy Andrew.
Andrew Jackson 2020.
Bring him back in Samurai Showdown, and that is all.
So the sales numbers, and the Bridge Hobo can help me out by putting them on the screen. Japan are really good, and right now they're not really available for the States. But it's apparently kicking ass and taking names. It's probably going to be around in Japan for a long time.
I really want it to succeed. I love
And
this game.
DLC is normally DLC for not region free.
Yeah.
So even if they don't release characters over here, I'm going to get them.
Yeah.
Rimuru is next.
Also, I can confirm, by the way, it is a blast to watch tournaments. There are so many hype moments from somebody losing their weapon and you just being like, fuck, are they going to get it back? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just so much. Sword catches, hype, fucking...
I don't think it's necessary for a game to be what Ninja lovingly calls watchable.
I mean,
I don't think that's super important for recommending a game, but it's nice that...
I mean, for playing a game, it doesn't need to be watchable.
Well, some people want an additional layer. You know what I mean?
It's nice to be there, and I think it is.
I just think about how
They're
watching...
Oh, no, sorry.
I just know personally from having watched Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom for so many years, it greatly expanded my enjoyment of the game whenever I'm playing in my own environments. Man, I just think that it's fun, it adds an extra layer, and I'm going to be copying things that I see in tournament.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It gives you this... a lot of games kind of do this nowadays, and I think it's a good idea because we have a rising esports scene where it engages you not only from a single person playing the game, but you're more involved with the community because you can see what people at high levels can do. And you can watch them and get excited about it.
Yeah, for instance, I main Genjuro, but what's funny is I am doing it wrong because Justin Wong just put out a video called Genjuro is a Grappler. And I'm like, I didn't know that. I literally, were it not for YouTube, I literally would have never started making an adjustment.
I think that's also one of the characters that the announcers were talking about at CEO was Genjiro and how strong he is. You see him in a couple matches.
I just like using I basically use the boxer archetype every time that I see it, and even though that's probably not his intended purpose, I just pretend that he's Boxer from Street Fighter, and that's probably the wrong approach. But anyway, now I'm talking off review. But anyway,
it's nice that it's getting picked up. That it looks like it has staying power, and the gameplay is real good. If it looks interesting to you, then it's solid. I know this channel has pointed out a couple of glitches that the game had on launch, and look, it's hard for me to admit when a game quickly fixes its problems because I love shitting on people, but the problem got fixed within days. I tried.
We say the problem got fixed within days. You only got it to happen that one match.
I tried duplicating it, and it just never happened again. The frame rate seems to have steadied out. A lot of people.
Yeah, it chugged a little on day one.
Yeah, and a lot of people said it didn't even chug on day one.
Huh.
It definitely chugged on us.
Yeah, a bit.
So right now the game is performing.
I thought the game was much slower than it was.
Oh yeah, we were like, oh shit, we're about to shoot a blade.
That is the closest comparison I can think of.
Just about, yeah. Very footsies based, which is good. It's good to have footsies back. Footsies haven't mattered in like a long while.
It's good to have defensive options and not be about block pressure.
Yeah.
Once.
So if it looks interesting, the game is performing excellent as of right now. Check it out, man.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 out of 10 recommend.
I don't know.
I do. It's my favorite fighting game in existence.
Let's
right
bring it down to an 8 out of 10.
I'm going to be playing this in Third Strike.
Ooh, I love Third Strike.
yeah.
I'll give it that 10 out of 10 when they bring back all the missing characters.
Well, I think that if I was going to project into the future, if DLC, if this game continues to be supported and we get I don't know, 6 more characters, I think that 9 is probably where it would end up for me out of 10.
We have a roadmap to get 4 characters through February. So starting in August, it's a character every 2 months.
I'm looking forward to what's going to happen and looking forward to the DLC characters. And
yeah, I guess 3 thumbs up.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Oh yeah.